Hi everybody, welcome to my latest YouTube video. It's Beatle Dave calling to you from Derby in the United Kingdom. This is going to be a more sort of like detailed review of the records that we got yesterday at the record fair in Derby. So if you saw the video yesterday, please watch this one as well, because I'm going to give you a bit more detail. I've cleaned them all now and I've played a hell of a lot of them as well. Plus there's a couple of records that have come in the week which weren't featured in the one yesterday. So I'm not sure if this is going to be one video or two videos. I'm just going to start it and see how we go. I hope you're all well and fine out there in YouTube land, Beatles world and the VC. So without further ado, we'll start off with some of the records that we got from yesterday. I got 2 singles and I think it was 20 albums, but a few of the albums were double albums as well. So like I say, I've cleaned them all now. I've listened to some of them but not all of them, but I will give you a more detailed review. So first off we have the Beatles White Album. Now this is numbered, but it's very hard to see. I think it says 802349. It's right there. I don't think you're going to see it. And it's a side opener. Now the strange thing with this is the cover is made in Germany. Yeah, by EMI Electra, but the records say made in Sweden. So is it a German export to Sweden? I don't know. I mean, this was in nice condition anyway, to be honest with you. But the strange thing is, I've noticed they're on 2 different labels. Although just say made in Sweden there, and you probably see it better on that one. You see it made in Sweden. Just there, look. Really nice condition. So that's record or LP 1, sides 1 and 2. Alright. Now this one, sides 3 and 4, is slightly different. It's a slightly lighter apple, and you don't get the production and orchestrations by George Martin at the top like you do on that one. The numbers are the same. So I'm a bit stumped on this one. I don't know if it's a German export copy to Sweden or it's a Swedish copy to Germany or whatever. I've played a little bit of this. Not a great deal, but I've played a little bit of it and it does actually sound really nice. And as far as a little bit of research that I have done, bear in mind I only got it yesterday, I think this came out in around 1973, 74. So it is a side opener, but it is still numbered. And I don't think it came with the poster or the photos, but I only paid £20 for that, and the cover is really nice condition. Like I say, it just say there, look, made in Germany. So that's one that I am extremely happy to have. Next up we've got, this is one of the cheapest Beatles albums I've ever bought, £4. £4 for the issue of the Beatles Oldies but Goldies. And it is actually in really nice condition, this. Okay, the cover's not that great, but these covers never look that great, do they? PCS 7016. And the strange thing about this is, that's a cover it came in, which doesn't have a number on it at all. So it's in like the bluey EMI sleeve, in a sleeve. But because I've cleaned it, I put it in a new anti-static sleeve. Look at that, it looks brand new. Yeah, it's not going to be the world's most valuable Beatles album ever, but having said that, it says, what does it say? EMI Records Limited, all rights to the manufacturer, but it still says made in Great Britain there, which is a bit strange. So I'm not quite sure what pressing this is. It is on a 2-box Parlophone EMI, but it is quite a heavy record. So I'd say that's roughly from around 1976. Again, could be wrong, and I probably am going to be wrong. I also got this, and I made a mistake yesterday. I said this was UK pressing, but obviously it's not. It's a USA pressing of the Early Beatles, which is basically a version of the Please Please Me album. Now this is stereo. I have got a copy of this, but mine's mono, and this was £10. And the cover is actually in really nice condition, as is the spine. A little bit of creasing just there. So you get Love Me Do, Twist and Shout, Anna Chains, Boys and Ask Me Why on side 1. Side 2 you get Please Please Me, P.S. I Love You, Baby It's You, A Taste of Honey, and Do You Want to Know a Secret, produced by George Martin. Because this came out in 1965, didn't it, I think, in America. And it's on the Rainbow Capital label. And this is actually in nice condition as well. You can see them labels okay, folks. And that really is a heavyweight record. I bet that's not far off 180 gram. So I'm pleased to have that one. Basically, I'm pleased to have everything that I got yesterday. Excuse me. The only thing is I ended up spending a hell of a lot more than what I wanted to. Now this is probably one of the gems. It's not a Beatles album that's in this lot that we got from the record fair. It's the Autumn Stone by the Small Faces. Now I think this came out just after Steve Marriott had left the band, I think. And it is a compilation album, but it has got some live tracks on and some a couple of tracks that were previously unreleased. So side 1 you get Here Comes the Niece, great song, The Autumn Stone, Collie Bosher, All or Nothing, which actually got to #1 in the UK, Red Balloon, and Lazy Sunday. Lazy Sunday Afternoon. Side 2 is Call It Something Nice, I Can't Make It, Afterglow of Your Love, Shalalalali, and The Universal. Now the Universal, that was actually, I think that was released as a single in the UK, and it didn't get very high in the charts. I'm just going to put my granddad glasses on, folks. Excuse me, hate wearing these. So side 3 you get Rolling Over, which is a live version of a song. You get If I Were a Carpenter, fantastic live version of that. And you get Every Little Bit Hurts, which is also a live version. Then you get My Mind's Eye, again, classic early single. Then you've got one of the best singles that the Small Faces ever did, Tin Soldier. And then you've got Just Passing. Side 4 is Itchy Park, Hey Girl, Wide-Eyed Girl on the Wall. And then you've got What You Gonna Do About It, What You Gonna Do About It, and Wham Bam Thank You Ma'am. It's a double album, obviously, and it's on the Immediate label. And it came out in 1969, I think. Remember rightly? Yeah. Pink Immediate label. I won't show you the record because they look identical. And they both say sides 1 and side 2, although it's really side 1, side 2, side 3 and side 4. I had a quick look on eBay just before I came up, and these are actually quite expensive. Because this is actually, I mean, it's in used condition, but it's in nice condition. And these usually go for around the £50 mark. Sometimes you can get them a little bit cheaper than that. Because when this came out, I don't think it was a great seller, to be honest. So I was extremely happy to pick this up yesterday, and I paid £20 for it. So £20 for a double Small Faces album, I think that's a bargain. I love the Small Faces. Not as much as I love the Beatles, but I do love the Small Faces. Somebody else that I love is David Bowie. in one way it burnt my heart when he died. It was like my old brother had died, which seems a bit strange really, because I'd never met him. But all through my life growing up, all I can ever remember is David Bowie records being on the radio. That and Slade and things like that, but Bowie was always somewhere around, you know, whether it was Let's Dance or Space Oddity or Fame or Golden Years, or, you know, he always seemed to be around all the time, sort of thing. So it was a shock when he died. This is a sort of like a live album for VH1 Storyteller. So when it was, this came out in 2009, by the way. Or it might have been recorded in 2009. I think it was recorded in 2009. I'm not sure. So you've got Life on Mars, Rebel Rebel, and Thursday's Child. Side 2, Can't Help Thinking About Me, which was a really, really early song, wasn't it? China Girl and 7. Side 3 is Driving Saturday and Word on a Wing. And then a bonus performance of Survive. And then side 4 is I Can't Read, Always Crashing the Same Car, which was off the Low album, wasn't it? And If I'm Dreaming My Life. I haven't played this one yet. That Small Faces one, by the way, I've played that. That's absolutely, sounds amazing. So that's another one to add to my ever-growing David Bowie collection now. I've got this on CD somewhere, and I've got it on CD. So I know what to expect. Yeah, that was £20. So I don't think I've done that bad. I also got a couple of singles yesterday, which I did show you, but now I've put them in. Apparently that is the sleeve that Love Me Do would have originally come in, the early copies. Like I say, this is a genuine UK first pressing. It's not the reissue from 1982. It's not in bad condition. I have played it. It has got a very, very slight warp, but it does play. And the other single that we got, I've had quite a few comments on this single, to be honest. Is a demo version of Love Me Do and P.S. I Love You. Again, this is more sort of like a vintage sort of like sleeve for it. But I thought this was a complete fake, because it does say Lennon stroke McCartney, and they spelt McCartney right, where on the early copies it said McCartney. But I have had some comments, and they're saying they think this actually could be the real thing. Something to do with whatever's in the dead wax, which I can't really see. But looking at that, I don't know if you're going to see that, but it does say JR just there. I don't think you're going to see it. Got it really, really carefully. It says JR, which was like that journalist review or something. So it could be real, I don't know. £25 that cost anyway. To be honest, I'm not really bothered if it's real or not, because it's just something a little bit different to having in my collection. That one, the original UK first pressing, is the most I've ever spent on a single ever in my entire life. That was £55. But it wasn't, because I bought a lot of records off the chap anyway, so it did knock me a little bit off, but I think it still made it about £50. Which is a hell of a lot to pay for a record, isn't it? Especially a single. But like I said yesterday, luckily I'd got the money on me to buy that. You know, I did go with a little bit more money than what I'd usually go to at a record fair yesterday. Hence why I was able to buy some absolutely amazing records. Then we've got this one, the Hollies Greatest Hits Volume 2. Now, I think this is a German copy. I'm sure it's a German copy. But I don't know when it came out. You've got Gasoline Alley Bread, Mighty Quinn, Long Cool Woman, Too Young to Be Married, Life I've Led, He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother, Then you've got Hey Willie, I'll Be Your Baby Tonight, Sorry Suzanne, Just Like a Woman, I Can't Tell the Bottom from the Top, and Frightened Lady. And the labels on this are actually quite nice. And this was actually one of the bargains of the day, to be honest. Hansa Records. A Hollies recording produced by Ron Richards and the Hollies. Yeah, it made it just says made in Germany. Not East Germany or West Germany, just says made in Germany at the bottom there. Isn't that lovely label? C8602A, C8602B. Doesn't look like it's had that much play either, to be honest. And this was £2. £2 for Hollies LP. Yes, I know it's a compilation, and I know a lot of people don't really like compilations, but I don't mind them, to be honest. I really don't mind them. A bit of a 70s sort of like cover though, isn't it? So imagine that came out in the early 70s. Sometimes think the Hollies never get sort of like recognition that they actually deserve, because they were a great band in their own right. Yeah, I'm just trying to get my backlights on. You know, and then some people say, well, there was always a singles band, and then other people will say, you know, the albums they made were crap. But they weren't. I think they made some really, really nice albums in the 60s, the Hollies, especially when Graham Nash was still with them. Next up, we've got like a 2-for-1. So this is one side of the Eamonn corner and another side of the Small Faces. And when I saw this, I thought this was German, but it's actually British. It is actually British. It's on, the catalogue number is NW6001, and it's Enterprise Records Stroke Merchandising Limited, 37 Winchelsea Road, Hardlisden, London, NW10. New World Records. Printed in England by West Brothers Printers Limited, London. The labels on this are quite weird, to be honest. I was expecting it to be on Pickwick or Hallmark or something. Look at that. Look how nice that is. Looks a bit like the Verve label, doesn't it? Again, nice heavyweight record. I think I'm going to do this video in 2 parts. I think. Next up, I got one that I've been wanting for a while, the Special, aka In the Studio. Now this is the album that they made after the Funboy 3, or the 3 members that formed the Funboy 3 left, i.e. Terry Hall and his mates. And it is on 2-tone, and it's got the hit single Nelson Mandela on it. But it's also got The Best Thing I Like About You Is Your Girlfriend, which is a very, very strange song, which was also a single, and Racist Friend, which I think was released as a single. It did come with it in a sleeve, and when I got this yesterday, it was still sealed. But when I played it, or got it out to play it, the actual record was absolutely filthy. There was all bits of paper and all sorts on it, so I've had to clean it, and I've had to put it in an anti-static sleeve. And I've played this both sides, and it sounds absolutely wonderful. But isn't that a weird 2-tone label? Because it's usually a white background into it, but this is a black background. Seems a bit strange, doesn't it? Some of the songs on here are really, really good. Obviously I've only played it a couple of times, so I can't really do it justice, but to me it sounds more in places like a jazz album than a ska album. And there's a couple of light instrumentals on it. That is the inner sleeve that came with it, by the way, which I think is actually full. That's full of like paper. A bit strange. £20 this was. Don't get me wrong, I'm not slagging this album off or anything. I'm just saying, if you're really into ska and you like the specials, then you've got to have this anyway. But there's just certain songs that don't really sound like the specials, but then when you think 3 of the main members had gone, then, you know, but then there's other songs on it that sound just like the specials when Terry Hall was still with them. So you've got John Bradley on drums, John Shipley on guitar, Rhoda Decker is on vocals, Jerry Dammers piano and organ, but like I say, he does sort of like sing the vocals on The Best Thing I Like About You's Your Girlfriend. Very, very strange song, to be honest. Then you've got Gary McManus on bass and Stan Campbell on vocals. Cracking album though. I'm very, very pleased to have it. I just think it might be one of those that I think when I've listened to it a few more times, I will consider this to be a classic specials album. But at the minute, because I haven't really listened to it that much, it's a bit hard. The next one was more specials. Now this actually is a Canadian version, and I don't know why, but on the UK version there's usually a woman here, isn't there? But they've cut her out of it. So why have they done that? And the, you know, the signage is slightly different, isn't it? As far as I can make out, all the songs and everything are the same. Yeah, Chrysalis Records Inc. manufactured and distributed in Canada under licence by Capitol Records EMI of Canada Limited. Publishing copyright 1980 Chrysalis Records, or that is still on two-tone. And this is the proper two-tone label. So that is get the right way around, Dave. That side one. So it starts off with Enjoy Yourself, Rat Bass, Man at CNA, Hey Little Rich Girl, Do Nothing, Pearl's Calf and Sock It To 'Em. And then side 2 you get Stereotypes Stroke Stereotypes Part 2. You got Holiday Fortnight, I Can't Stand It, International Jet Set and Enjoy Yourself Reprise. Now the strange thing is, this album, I think it's this one, has actually got a connection to Paul McCartney. No, he doesn't play on it or anything like that, but where is it? Enjoy Yourself, the copyright was originally by Edwin H. Morrison Company, a division of MPL Communications Inc. Copyright renewed 1976-1977, MPL Communications Limited. So there you go. And you got a single with this as well. Because I have got the original UK version of this, which I got off Dennis the other week, and I've got a, like I say, a reissue from a couple of years ago, but you didn't get the single with it. So this single you get Beauty Radiation and the specials, Dragging a Train Not to Lie. And then you've got Neville Staples, aka Judge Roughneck, Rude Boys Out of Jail. Nice, isn't it? I'm going to show you one more, and then that is going to be the end of part one, and then I might do another one later today. I don't know, because the thing is, if you make your, well, I'm enjoying doing this. If I make the videos too long, nobody watches them. They just go through the bits that they like, which I don't have a problem with that. So the last one I'm going to show you for this is the Kinks LP, Lola versus Powerman and the Money Go Round. I was extremely lucky to find this. That specials one, by the way, this one was £20 as well. This was £10, this one. And this is an original UK pressing from 1970. It's in a gatefold sleeve. Yes, I've got to try and do something with the back, but I don't think I can, because it's like, I think somebody spilt coffee or something on it at some point, and I think if I tried to get that off, I think it's just going to go straight through, so I think I'll leave it as it is. This was when Ray Davies was disillusioned with the music industry, so a lot of the songs on here are actually slagging off, you know, the music industry. You know, Denmark Street, that was a bit like Tim Panelli, wasn't it, and things like that. Get Back in Line, Lola, Top of the Pops, The Money Go Round, The Contenders, Strangers, This Time Tomorrow, A Long Way From Home, Bats, 8 Man, Power Man, Got to Be Free. But it is a really, really nice album. Again, I've had to put this in a new anti-static sleeve, because the sleeve it was in was absolutely rubbish. I have given it a good clean. I mean, there is some hairline marks on it, but for £10 for original UK pressing of a Kinks album, and to be in all honesty, this is one of the better Kinks albums, from later on in the career, because I think there was this, and then one not Victoria, Arthur, and then they left Pie, didn't they, and went on to RCA, and they did some really, really strange albums with RCA. They did like very sort of like theatrical sort of like albums, and you know, things like that, which they'd sort of done with Percy, hadn't they, and with Arthur, in some ways. But that is a fantastic album. I was lucky enough to get a reissue of that a few months ago, and I always said I'd want one day to get the original UK version, and I've got it, and I'm very pleased. So that's going to be end of part one. We've still got a hell of a lot to go through, to be honest, so I don't want to make this any longer than it is. So thank you to everybody subscribing, leaving me comments, and leaving me likes. As always, you are the beat in Beatle Dave. Without you, I wouldn't be doing this channel, so I hope you've stuck through to the end. On the next one, there's more Beatles and all sorts and that, so you know, please check out later today to see when it is on, because I'm starving. I've got to go and have something to eat yet, and I've been cleaning records since 9 o'clock this morning. It is now 1:15. Yeah, so I'm gonna go and have a cup of coffee and have something to eat, and then I'll download this one, and then I'm going to go and do another one later today. So I hope that's alright with you. So peace, love and happiness to you all. Remember, Beatle Dave loves each and every one of you, and I'll see you on the next video, hopefully in a couple of hours. Bye.